But, I mean, if you say that there is being a trend of former President Olusegun Obasanjo's criticism in past government, in this government, what about Professor Wole Soyinka, who, I mean, both men are not, they've never agreed on perhaps one thing, and they seem to have agreed on the fact that under President Buhari, the nation is drifting. What about Professor Wole Soyinka? If you do not agree, or you say, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has the right to criticize, are you listening also to Professor Wole Soyinka?
Like you said in your intro, you know Professor Soyinka even first issued a disclaimer about former President Obasanjo before he made his own comment. Before he agreed with him, he first issued a disclaimer about him. That says a lot about the former president. Now, Professor Soyinka, of course, is somebody we respect. You don't have them too many like that in a country, even on a continent. Professor Soyinka is an icon, is an avatar. We respect him, we listen to him, but then we don't take everything he says hook, line, and sinker. It doesn't happen. There is nobody that says something and everything he says you take hook, line, and sinker. He is an individual. He can make mistakes. He may reason from preconceived notions. And if you look at Professor Soyinka, you know that he had never been a pro-Buhari person. Right from when President Buhari was military head of state. You know, Professor Soyinka had always criticized him in the strongest of terms. And I recall that before the 2015 elections, when he softened a bit, he still came out to say that of the two main candidates in 2015, one was just like a shade better than the other. It was not as if he endorsed the president totally. Sometime in 2016 or 17, he came visiting at the villa. He still was very frank with the president. The president was also very frank with him. Professor Soyinka had always been like that and will always remain so. We will take whatever he says, we'll look at it, the ones that need to be assimilated and ingested, it will be done. And the ones that we see as typical Professor Soyinka, a gadfly, a critic, who is always on the other side of government. Even the government in which he served as the head of the Federal Road Safety Commission, the Babangida regime, he still criticized that government. So if a man is in that mood, when he speaks, look at what he has said, assess it, the ones that you think are germane and well-founded, take. And the ones that you think come from his predisposition as a permanent critic of government, you know what to do with it.
Mr. Adesina, let's pick one after the other, perhaps, if we may analyze the issues that have been raised. For example, Professor Wole Soyinka raised a very disturbing issue. He said Nigeria is more divided than before under President Buhari. Is the president concerned about this sort of statement? Furthermore, when he says that Nigeria is tilting towards a total collapse, that is worrisome. Is it for the president?
Nigeria had always been divided. Always. Right from amalgamation in 1914, Nigeria had always been divided. Nigeria is an inconvenient amalgamation. But we have kept at it, we have worked at it, and I tell you, there is no time in the history of this country that the country was not divided. But then, we had kept at it, we were trying to make it work. As of 2015, when President Buhari came, Nigeria was terribly, terribly divided. Divided along ethnic lines, divided along religious lines, divided along language, divided against political lines, divided hopelessly, terribly. And that is the division that President Buhari had been working at. But you see that a number of people, instead of letting harmony return to this country, thrive and luxuriate in widening the gulf between Nigerians. They play politics with everything. So if they say Nigeria is divided today, it is because Nigeria had always been divided. And all efforts to unite Nigeria and Nigerians have not worked. When Nigerians come to a decision point that we must live together, we can't wish anybody away, we can't wish any ethnicity away, we can't wish any religion away, then we will be working towards being a nation. Professor Soyinka delivered a lecture around 2010, 2011, when he said Nigeria was not a nation. That at best, Nigeria is a conglomeration of different ethnic nationalities. But in terms of the definition of a nation, he said Nigeria was not a nation. Now the question is, was President Buhari in power then, in that 2010 or 2011, when he delivered that lecture and said Nigeria was not a nation? So Nigeria had always been divided. The onus is on us all to make our country work. And those who continue to harp on division are part of the problem, because the harmony that we should arrive at as a country will continue to elude us.